Hey y'all, let's bake! If your weekend plans include baking something and then eating half of it straight off the pan because it's so delicious, this is the video for you. Hey, I'm Becky, and I love creating simple, plant-based comfort food recipes. These are a few of my low-stress, high-reward, simple vegan baking recipes that are perfect for a weekend bacon extravaganza. I've got chewy cookies, fruity scones, fudgy brownies, and fluffy muffins for you today. Let's bake! These s'mores cookies have all the flavors and textures of gooey, chocolatey, marshmallowy, graham crackery s'mores, but in cookie form. They are absolutely delicious and they are so easy to make. I adapted this recipe from my super popular cookies and cream cookies. They have this perfect crisp on the outside, soft on the inside sugar cookie texture, and then you add chocolate chunks and graham cracker pieces, and then top them with a big ol' marshmallow. Before we make our dough, let's prep the graham cracker pieces and the marshmallow pieces. You want to make sure that you're using vegan marshmallows and vegan graham crackers. Conventional marshmallows contain gelatin, which is made from animal bones and ligaments, definitely not vegan. Luckily, you can usually find vegan marshmallows pretty easily at stores like Sprouts or like Whole Foods. My local co-op carries them. The non-vegan ingredient that you need to look out for with graham crackers is honey. Honey is an animal product, which means it's not vegan. Luckily, honey is also expensive. So if you look for like the cheapest store brand graham crackers, those are usually vegan because they use other sweeteners in place of honey to save money. For the graham crackers, you don't want to crumble them. You kind of want to break them up into about pea-sized pieces so you'll get nice chunky pieces of graham cracker throughout the cookies. The other thing we need to do is slice our jumbo vegan marshmallows in half. And you want to slice them lengthwise. If you slice them so that they're round on the top and the bottom, they aren't going to spread enough to cover the top of the cookie. And then before you add them to the cookie, you're actually going to spread them out with your fingers a little bit so that you get maximum marshmallow coverage. Now that that's done, let's make the dough. In a large bowl, mix the dry ingredients, and then in a separate bowl, mix the wet. The egg replacer for these cookies is a flax egg, but we're gonna make it right in the bowl with all the wet ingredients, so just add your flax meal and water right to the bowl with everything else. Now add the wet ingredients to the dry and mix them together. You should end up with like a slightly sticky dough, but it shouldn't stick all over your hands. If it is too sticky, just add in a little bit of extra flour. Once you have a cohesive dough, mix in your graham cracker pieces and your chocolate chunks. This dough makes between 12 and 16 cookies depending on how big you make them. I like to scoop them into about 1.5 inch balls and then transfer that to your baking sheet. Now take a marshmallow half and use your fingers to kind of spread it open so it's as wide as possible. Then slap that right on top of the cookie. Repeat that for all of the cookies until they're all covered with marshmallows, and then you're ready to bake. If you're using a regular baking pan, you'll bake them at 375, but if you're using a dark baking pan like this one, you're gonna wanna bake them at 350 to avoid scorching the bottoms. Once they're baked and cooled, you are ready to eat. These s'mores cookies are just absolutely delicious. They have that gooey chocolate, and then they have like the crunchy on top but soft inside marshmallow, and then they have those graham cracker pieces inside. Ugh, they're so good. Fluffy vegan scones with sweet, tart blackberries are so simple to make using everyday ingredients. You can make them using fresh blackberries or frozen. Start by mixing the wet ingredients together in a small bowl. The wet ingredients include non-dairy milk and apple cider vinegar, which is going to cause the mixture to curdle. And what we're doing there is actually making vegan buttermilk. Now mix up all the dry ingredients. But before you add the wet ingredients, we're going to cut in some vegan shortening or vegan butter. Don't worry, cutting in is nothing fancy. You're literally going to cut the butter into pieces and then drop the pieces in the bowl. What's important is that you use cold vegan butter. Using cold fat is what helps these vegan scones get nice and light and fluffy. Now use clean hands to kind of knead the vegan butter into the dry mixture until it reaches a consistency that almost is like beach sand. And then fold in your blackberries. Add the wet ingredients to the dry, mix really well. Now pop that dough in the freezer for 20 minutes. Chilling the dough also helps the scones achieve that like perfect texture. Meanwhile, preheat the oven and line a baking sheet with parchment paper. When the chilling time is up, add that dough ball to the center of your parchment paper, and then use your hands to kind of flatten it out into a disc. Then use a butter knife or a pizza cutter to slice the dough into 8 triangles. Space those out on your baking sheet. Bake until they're golden on the edges, let them cool a little bit, and they're ready to eat. These scones make a great breakfast or snack, and they are just absolutely delicious. They're like a little bit crisp on the outside and then fluffy on the inside and just packed with those absolutely delicious, tart, sweet blackberries. They are so amazing. I can't wait for you to try them. If you've never had matcha and chocolate together, you are in for such a treat. And these fudgy matcha brownies are the perfect place to start. These brownies are almost like a brookie. So you're gonna make this like fudgy brownie batter, and then you're gonna make this matcha, almost like a matcha cookie dough. To make the brownie batter, you mix up everything except for the flour and the chocolate chips until you have a nice even mixture. Then mix in the flour and then add the chocolate chips and mix one more time. Now's a good time to preheat your oven. For the matcha batter, we're gonna kind of do the same thing. Mix everything together except the flour and the chocolate chips. Mix in the flour. Then mix in the chocolate chips. This dough should have almost like a cookie dough texture. Line an 8 by 8 inch baking pan with parchment paper. And then drop dollops of the different doughs all over the pan. And you kind of want to alternate so you end up with sort of a matcha and chocolate patchwork happening. Then you can use clean hands or you can use a spatula to kind of press it down and make sure everything is pushed together so you have one cohesive matcha brownie situation in the pan. Now bake until a toothpick inserted in the center of the matcha batter comes out clean. Cool completely, then use the parchment paper to transfer the brownies out of the pan, slice, and serve. These are just absolutely delicious. The matcha part has that like earthy matcha flavor, but it's also like a little bit sweet. And it pairs so beautifully with like the fudgy, chocolatey brownie parts. It is just a party in your mouth. Let's make vegan muffins that taste like a peach cobbler. These muffins are moist and fluffy, and they have this crunchy streusel topping and all the flavors of a peach cobbler, but in a muffin. Before we start the batter, we gotta make your vegan buttermilk. To do that, just take some non-dairy milk and pour in a little bit of apple cider vinegar. In a small bowl, combine flour, brown sugar, cinnamon, and salt. Mix that together, and then cut some vegan butter into the mixture. Cutting in literally just means cutting it into pieces and putting it in there. Use a fork or your hands to mix it together until you have a nice crumbly mixture. Now let's stick that in the fridge to chill while we make our muffin batter. The batter for these muffins all comes together in one bowl. So first combine all of your dry ingredients, including the sugars, and mix those together really Then use your fork to make sort of a well in the center of the dry ingredients. Then pour the wet ingredients into that well and use a fork or a whisk to mix them together, and then incorporate the wet ingredients into the dry. Fold in your diced peaches. Now use a big spoon, or I like to use an ice cream scoop, to scoop that batter into your lined muffin tin. Once you have all the liners filled up about 3/4 of the way, head to the fridge, grab that streusel topping, and sprinkle it on top. Then gently pat the streusel topping into the muffin batter. That's gonna help it stick to the muffins as it bakes. You don't wanna push it all the way in, just a gentle little pat will do the trick. Now bake these up at 375 for 20 to 24 minutes until a toothpick inserted into the center comes out clean. Let these cool in the pan for 10 minutes and then you can remove them and eat. I love grabbing 1 or 2 of these for breakfast or eating one for an afternoon snack. They are so delicious with all of those flavors of cinnamon and nutmeg and those juicy chunks of peaches. They're delicious. Because of the moisture from the streusel topping and from the peaches in the muffins, don't store these on the countertop for more than 1 day. If you're gonna keep them for more than a day, stick them in the fridge. I hope you enjoyed this little collection of weekend baking recipes. If you have any questions about these recipes or about eating vegan in general, drop a comment. I'm always happy to help. And don't forget to rate and subscribe. Happy cooking!